Okay, one of the first things we need to talk about is if you look at the PDF, that's the neck diagram. I've labeled the bottom three strings on the guitar starting with the thick string. So if you look at the line going horizontally on the bottom, that's the E string, the thickest string. So as you can see, if we hit that string open, it's E. If we go to the first fret, it's F. Third fret is G. Fifth fret is A. Seventh fret is B. Ninth fret is C sharp or D flat. And then we get to our octave again up here at the 12th fret. So I'm just playing these with my first finger. And you want to key into the fret markers as fast as possible. They're going to give you a visual aid on the guitar neck. So E an octave higher at the 12th fret, usually a double dot. G, A, B, C sharp, D flat. Now you'll notice on that fretboard diagram, some of the notes have two names, like F sharp and G flat. Those are called enharmonics. We'll get into that later. We're not going to get too deep into the music theory in this course. That's a whole different course. But just know that depending on what key you're in, a note is going to be called either an F sharp or the G flat. And this course is going to help you navigate the guitar neck so that you know how to find all those notes. Now, we played these with the first finger. So if you look at the six-string power chord diagram, we're just going to take our first finger. If we put it in the third fret on the thick string, and we put our third finger on the fifth string, so we're in the third fret and the fifth fret on the fifth string, and we just hit those two strings, that's a G power chord. Now, it's not uncommon at all to put your pinky down an octave higher on the fourth string. So we have third fret on the sixth string, fifth fret on the fifth string, and then fifth fret on the fourth string with our pinky. So we hit three strings, still a power chord. This is a G, this is a G an octave higher, this is a D. You'll learn all that as we go. So G power chord. So for the purpose of this course, the way I've written everything is just with the two fingers, because a lot of beginning students, the pinky's the weakest finger. It'll be the hardest to deal with. What we want to do here is just get you moving and playing. The purpose of this course is to learn the fretboard. So you can take this information with you and utilize it in any style of music, on acoustic guitar or electric guitar, with a ton of distortion or clean. It doesn't matter. So for right now, for this whole course, I'm just going to play everything with fingers 1 and 3. I would suggest you do that if you're a beginning student. If you've been playing for a little bit and you want to start working on that pinky strength, then just put the pinky up top on the fourth string. So if I take this power chord that I just showed you, the G power chord, all we have to do is slide that around. My first finger is the root. That tells me the name of the chord. And when you see a 5 after a chord, that means power chord. So if you see G5, that means play a power chord. A G is just a regular G chord. Power chord has the 5 after it. So if you think about just taking this chord shape and sliding it up and down the sixth string, you're just trying to keep track of where your first finger is. That will tell you the name of the chord. So if I play G here, if I go up 2 frets, that's an A power chord. If I go down to the first fret, that's an F power chord. So we're just sliding that shape around on the sixth string. If we take that same shape and we move it to the fifth string, so if I have my first finger in the third fret on the fifth string, my third finger in the fifth fret on the fourth string, That's a C power chord. So if you look at the notes on that fretboard diagram, starting on the 5th string, we have A, C, D, E, F sharp or G flat. We have a G at the 10th fret, and we have an A. That's our octave again. So A and A. Okay, now when we play, we have some options on the thick string with an E power chord. We could play it at the 12th fret. We could play it open, because remember the 6th string open is E. So now we play it like this. That's an E power chord. If we go to the 12th fret, that's an E power chord. On the 5th string, this is A. And then on the 5th string at the 12th fret with our 1st finger, and our 3rd finger down, that's an A power chord as well. Okay, so keep in mind, this is just about learning the fretboard. We're going to be taking that common 1st and 3rd finger shape and sliding it up and down the guitar neck. The beauty of the guitar is, because of the way it's tuned and the way this all works out, these chord shapes are movable. So you're just taking a shape. Once you learn one shape, you learn 12, because you just move it up or down on the 6th, the 5th, and the 4th string. So once you learn this one shape, you'll know half of the guitar neck by heart. You'll have it memorized. And that's even before we get into bar chords or scales or any of that other stuff. So this is a really great method for learning the guitar neck, applying the information, learning how to count, some basic rhythm stuff, start working on your ear training, and start identifying tonal centers, because these exercises are laid out in different keys, and some of the progressions will be more kind of diatonic, and others might get a little more chromatic and introduce some newer chords. But everything you hear in these exercises are very common chord movements. You'll find them in all styles of music. So if your ear starts to be able to identify these types of movements, even without getting into major and minor bar chords or anything like that yet, if you're just hearing the root movement of these chords, your ear is going to get stronger, faster, be able to identify tonal centers, and it'll be less hunting and pecking and guessing and missing. So in the next video, I'm going to play through a couple exercises. We'll talk about rhythm and some techniques. We'll talk about some counting first.